Audio Jungle. 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 Audio Jungle.
Hello everyone. Soft skills get a little respect, but it can either make your career or break it. This is Rotractor Aman Mulani, and I'm the president of Rotaract Club of DYPIEMR, and it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on the occasion of English Language Day on our webinar or session for today on personality development. I know that this soft skills and personality development is a topic which we all have been familiar with for a long time. In colleges, we have sessions of soft skills. We know the importance of soft skills. Like if we meet someone on the way and their body language is good and the way they present themselves is pretty good, it's very easy to get impressed by them. On the other hand, if someone whose body language is not that good, is not able to express himself in a good manner, it's really difficult to be impressed by them. So here's where we come into the picture. If you want to impress your boss, or maybe you want to impress a boy or a girl, right? It's necessary to have a good body language, else it will be very difficult for you to impress people, right? Soft skills is really necessary. The way you present yourself, the way you talk with people, and that's why we have kept this session. I'll broke off. Tanmay, I got you. Anyways, so today's let's introduce our today's speaker, and I will like to call Sharmishta on the live stream. Like we are very much familiar with Zoom meetings, and this gets kind of weird when we talk about YouTube live. So let's just call Sharmishta.
Hey, Aman.
Hello.
So, yeah, first of all, good afternoon to all. I am Sharmishta Mitra, Women's Representative. On behalf of Rotaract Club of Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Engineering Management and Research, Akurdi, we are pleased to welcome our guest for this session, Ms. Anurupa Mitra. She is one of the youngest entrepreneur and owns a research company, experienced researcher with a demonstrated history of working in market research industry, skilled in client interacting, team building, primary and secondary market research, content creation, and proposal building. She is one of the greatest public speaker and delivered various kind of speech. Now I would hand over this session to our speaker and would like to tell her to begin this session.
Hello guys, what's up?
We are doing well.
Yeah, how are you and how is life going?
It's great in pandemic.
Yeah, so I'm Anurupa and I am running a company named Contrite Data Insights Private Limited. I am here taking after all the things like looking after research team, looking after sales team, and looking after entire management. So first of all, I would like to know, is everyone audible with my voice? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are completely audible.
Okay, great then. So, first of all, happy English Day. So, tell me one thing, like what is the importance of English language in your life? Can anyone answer me this?
Sure, ma'am. Before just getting started, I would like to tell the audiences about what kind of session it will be and how we'll be interacting with the speaker that is with you.
Sure.
Right. So we are basically on YouTube Live, and there is comment section on YouTube where you can ask your question, where you can interact with the speaker, and we will be taking up the questions from there, and we'll be putting it in front of you. Right. So there will be no direct video contact because we are on YouTube. And with that being said, I request all the participants, if they have any question, just put it in the chat box. We will be there to pick up the questions. We have a strong team in the backend, so no need to worry about that. And there are a few question answers given to your question, ma'am, as well. I will just put it on the screen. The one being by Akshay Solanki: to express feelings to another person in a language. And then by Akshay Solanki, the same question: to communicate. And by Rotaract Club, obviously, English helps us communicate with majority of the crowd. It's a global language.
Okay. So, let it be any language. I would like to tell you that confidence plays a crucial role. Okay, when we are confident, we can interact with the frontier more effectively, more efficiently. So starting with the session, first of all, we'll cover some pointers regarding personality development. So why personality development is crucial in this? So personality development initially covers some factors such as your communication skills, your leadership skills, your listening skills, and others. So, in order to have good personality, you should have good dominance for your communication. And as this is English Day, so we'll talk today about English language. So once we have good fluency in our English speaking, it brings a good presence to your personality. So why personality development is an important factor? So personality development helps to groom individuals, like they can set some goals in front of the frontier. When we are presenting, when we are having that great personality, it becomes very easy for us to crack the deals or to crack the behavior in front of the frontiers. Also, personality development reduces stress. When we are confident, we don't worry about what the frontier thinks about us. Correct? So, when we are having that personality, which have that confidence, we have the efficiency to interact with the people. So one person I see have written that to express feelings to another person in a language. Okay. So when we express our feelings, I believe we should be having confidence in it. We should be having listening power also. When we are communicating in a public, I believe if I understand what you guys are trying to speak, so it becomes more easy for me to understand what to answer you guys. So your attitude comes first, and then your communications. So the communication should be fluent. You should having good grab up on the language. And second of all, I'll see if anyone else have answered anything. Okay. So,
Ma'am, if sorry to interrupt, if there is anything on the chat box, we'll let you know. We'll ping it on the screen.
okay, that would be great. Okay, one is saying should have good communication skills. Okay, it should be there. Hello,
Yeah, you're audible now.
is there any network error? Am I yet there?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay, so there was some network error. So someone is writing, English helps us communicate with majority of the crowd. Yes. Why language is important is we stand different from the crowd. When we have good personality, when we have the pleasing communication skills, we stand out from the crowd and we have something extra in us, what people notices. Also, it helps us to develop positive attitude towards the life. Why positive attitude towards the life is because with a negative life, with low confidence, we cannot achieve what we want to achieve in our life. We have to be confident. And how we can be confident? When someone we are having with ourselves, that is our surrounding people, is confident in us, and the confidence in them generates by seeing the confidence you guys have with yourself. You should have good punch on your grammatical skills. You should have good punch on your adjective skills. You should have good verb skills. You should have and good communication package in it. So why people slacks in communication while speaking in English? It is because the most of the crowd they are being into are not having the support to strive you. They don't drive you. For example, if we have someone here who is having rest of the languages as their mother tongue, they are having so much of confidence while speaking. This happens because the family members doesn't, anytime have got them down that you are wrong in somewhere. But when it comes to English speaking skills, I have seen many students who are coming to me, they are speaking and they are not confident. Why? Because they always say whenever we try to speak, our surrounding, our friends, our colleagues, our teammates are, making fun of the people. So please understand, when you want to stand out of the crowd, you have to understand that you have to be motivated. Don't get demotivated. Once you get demotivated, then people are, not getting that switch or the grab on the language. And because of that, the confidence goes down and overall personality doesn't grow. Okay. So while you speak, understand you are speaking with the leadership quality. If you are being rude, then people won't be polite to you, won't be understanding you. They would be just replying you. Be very polite while speaking. Have understanding about the frontiers issue or the replies. Once you understand, once you become the good listener, it is said that a good listener is more respected than a good speaker.
Yes.
Okay, so again, I see a big comment again from Akshay. What if person knows how to speak grammatically but not confident while delivering words? What should he or she do at that time? Okay, so I'll suggest go and read some books. Okay, start your day by getting up early. Okay, have some time for yourself. For the ideal time for getting up in the morning should be 6 to 8 o'clock. Have at least an hour or two for meditation, for reading books. When you read some books in English, then you get the confidence about the new language trends, okay? And be with the people who motivates you and not demotivate you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
I just one thing I come across my mind. What you're talking about, your friend circle, right? And that's a very correct point. That being in college, there happens we come across situations where we want to improve our English, but our friends are not that supportive, and we cannot entirely replace our friends just
Yeah.
because of one trait, right? They are
Yeah.
not speaking English, but there are other
Yeah.
qualities as well which we need from them. Right. So in this situation, is there anything else like we can do? I have heard about mirror talking, like talking to yourself in front of
Yeah,
mirror.
I was about to come to that point. So, improving yourself is something like I'll give you one proverb which I have been influenced from. Okay, this is my personal influence. If you want to have good confidence and good grab towards the communication language, you should start working from the day one on yourself. Okay, so where I have started, speaking when I had spoken in the public for the first time, it was very hectic for me. So what I have done is I had started with small group discussions. Okay, take your friends, take your colleagues, take your teammates, and start some group discussions. Okay, let it be political discussions, but start with group discussion. Okay, then second thing should be like start with your introduction. Okay, introduce yourself to yourself in front of the mirror and note the points where you are getting mistakes and where you can improve more. Okay, or else, whatever you feel good, that is any family member, any supervisor, any mentor, seek help from them. Okay, it could be your friends, it could be your family member, it could be your clients, it could be your teammates, it could be your team workers. Okay, so just understand with whom you can be what you are. Okay, just one person can change your life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a great saying, right? So just take that into consideration. Go to your family member if it is more possible, because we are more confident and we are more precise when we talk to some family members. It could be your sister, it could be your mother, it could be your father, or it could be your extended relatives. Okay,
Yes.
so you can just have communication with them and they can boost your confidence and motivate you more.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There's some suggestion coming up in my personal DM, and these are like they are enjoying this type of format where questions are being answered continuously. So
Okay,
should
okay,
should we continue
yeah.
with it?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am. So,
Mhm.
this is my personal question, by the way. Even
Okay, yeah.
I belong to a family where like most of the people are pretty fluent in English, and I had faced problem with English pretty while ago. And then I come across a video of Sandeep Maheshwari, in where he was talking about how to speak in English, and there was a point like. The language originates in your mind, right? So when when you change your thought process in English
Yeah.
itself, like when you think in English, it will be much easier for you to speak in English. The time which we take
Yeah.
to convert Hindi, Marathi to English, it's a bit big,
Yeah.
right? So that helped me a bit. So what are your views about this thing, ma'am?
Okay. So coming to answering your question, the thing I have already, mentioned before the session,
Mhm.
before sometime only while starting the session, it was when we
Mhm.
speak with our mother tongue, why are we so fluent and why are we so confident is that we already make up the sentence in back of the mind, like what I am supposed to speak. But while speaking in English, it becomes difficult for us to form that sentence. And why this happens? This happens because people are not using this language on daily basis.
Mhm.
And because of that, preparing something back of the mind becomes more difficult. And while throwing to the public or throwing to the speaking, while speaking, becomes more and more tedious. So, how to overcome this? Go and watch some Hollywood movies. Go and watch some series, web series, which are originated in English. Go and have some YouTube videos. Okay, so this could help your communication skills to grow more.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
There's another question about it that we always heard that fluency is important, not the grammar. Like I have heard this in many English videos, oriented videos, that first you learn to speak in English fluently, and then you can, maybe twerk your grammar skills, right? But what I feel
Of
is, ma'am,
course.
if we are not good with the basics, our foundation is not that good, and then later on it becomes difficult to change what we have been doing, right? So is
So,
this the correct thing?
no, actually, for me, grammatical mistakes are blunders. I'm sorry, but yeah, this is
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
What happens in English is such a language. If you mess up with one of the words, you directly change the sentence meaning.
yes.
Okay. So I understand from the first day, from the initial day, people won't be having that good throw over the grammar. Okay. But with time, they should improve their grammatical skills. For that, I'll recommend a book which I used to recommend from my school time. That is Ren and Martin. Okay, I believe you guys have also been referred to that book while you were in the schools. Okay, so go to that book. Okay, you don't need any Grammarly, you don't need any YouTube video. You will get the basic English grammar things and you can just utilize it. Once the basics are clear, there is no matter what happens when while you are speaking, you don't need any more ingredients to add up on your language. But yeah, like you said, the fluency matters, yes. And why fluency matters? Because it shows that you are very confident with the language and you can take it forward.
Okay, so there's an interesting question on the screen by Akshay Solanki.
Yeah.
While talking to someone, suppose I forget the words, how can I wrap the situation which will not impact my personality in front of that person? Like how to come up with wrapper around the situation, basically.
Okay. So what happens now? When we forget something, what we start doing is, don't do this. Okay. Take a deep breath. And instantly you will get the word. Or you will get some synonyms to speak to. And it will not hamper your personality, but it will, of course, give you some time to think at the back of the mind and you can use some synonyms and you can speak.
That was indeed helpful, ma'am.
Yeah.
If people are to take something from this today's webinar, this will be this thing. Like take a deep breath. Like this is
Yeah,
really
like
helpful.
it won't affect your personality, and also you would be having some time and people would be thinking, yeah, the person is breathing, it is natural, right?
Yeah. And it's always said that it's better to think before you speak, right?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Yes, yeah.
So yeah,
Further
and
questions?
yeah. So the next question is about body language. It's just let me just check the question so that I can read it out. Yeah. So the question is, when we talk with someone, it is said that the body language matters, and if we don't want our body language to be aggressive or to be dull, so what is the the correct point where we should try to take about our body language, like what should be
Okay.
it?
So, like when you are attending an interview, okay, let us go step by step for this, okay? Here you have to just showcase your knowledge. But what if you have tons of knowledge but don't have confidence while speaking? Okay, so your body language should show that yes, I have that knowledge to acknowledge, right? Okay, so the body language should be moderate. It shouldn't be very aggressive. Wait, I know this stuff. It shouldn't be your attitude or, oh my God, how should I answer? This shouldn't be your body language. Your body language should be very moderate. Your body language should depend upon the frontier's mood. Okay, it shouldn't be like the frontier is speaking and speaking and speaking. You are just listening and listening and listening. What you can do is you listen to all the questions or everything asked. You just make a conclusion in the mind, and you answer you address the question, and later on you conclude your thing. Okay, so this is what moderate body language is. Now, what is aggressive body language? Someone is asking me the question and I'm just interrupting and again just answering and answering and answering and answering. Okay, and what is very soft natured body language is something like if someone is asking with that aggressiveness, okay, why the assignments are not done in time, so what you will do is you just demotivate yourself, you don't have that confidence, and you just look down and you just leave the room. Sorry, I'll just do it. Rather try explaining the situation, rather try, to communicate regarding the problem and solve the issue.
uh, yes, ma'am, that's something which we all need to learn, when to search the body languages as well, right? There are
Yeah,
sometimes when need to be aggressive, there are sometimes when we
yeah,
need to be on the soft side.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So moving on, the next thing is again related to body language.
Okay,
It's related to interview. So this question has been
okay.
coming up from for like we all have somewhere come across this question in our college life, and the question is, what if I don't know an answer to an interviewer's question, and what will be at that time, what should be our response, like what should we exactly say, right? And what should we do when we don't
Like
know what
who
the
is
answer?
not looking to the eye? Who is not making the eye contact? Is it the interviewer or the interviewing person?
The interviewing, the candidate, I'm the candidate and I don't
Okay,
know the answer, so what should be my look out for this thing?
okay. Directly say sorry. I don't know the answer for the question. Don't run the interviewer because they are very much experienced and they do know much more than you guys know. Okay, so directly say sorry, this is not the point I have studied, or I am not much aware about this topic, but yeah, I would like to learn about the topic more, and once I go from the room I'll start searching about it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's something which we all will keep in mind. Like even whenever I have given personal interviews, I really don't know
Yeah.
much of the questions, so, so we'll keep this in mind the next
Yeah.
time. Now, coming to the next point, it's about accent. So
Okay.
there are American accent, British accent, and basically Indian accent. So I have
Okay.
seen people when they talk with people from different countries, they try to match their accent. But is it superficial? Like, isn't it superficial matching someone else's accent? And what are your views
What I
about this?
believe is let us not, try to copy the accent. Be original. Okay. Because what happens when you try copy the accent, now you focus more on the accent and less on the speaking or less on the communication. So keep your accent very original. speak the way you are, okay, because you are not giving any speech, right? If it is in speech, then you must have, done the preparations for accent and as well the wordings or the speech, okay, for the communication. Be very original, because fake accents are not a very good thing when it comes to communication.
Yes, ma'am. That's really helpful, and I will tell this to other people as well. This I come
Yeah,
across.
of course. Yeah.
Okay, so ma'am, this is another. I think this will require an elaborate answer. And the question is, what are your tips for beginners who are just getting started with English? What is your tips, and what should be their approach?
Okay. So, as a beginner, first of all, you should be very much confident by your mind. Okay. That now I have to just do this. Okay. Because it shouldn't be the scenario that, like, you are starting with something. Okay. The first step is the crucial step. And how you should do is, again, start reading about the things. Once you read about the things, you become much more familiar about how you are going to put up the next steps. Okay, so once the first step is complete, start with the small grammar practices, start with small paras you speak daily. Every day go to the dictionary, that is Oxford Dictionary, which I use personally. Go to the dictionary, pick some 5 words every day, get their meanings, and just try to use those 5 words in your daily communication. And not only you, try to group up with 2 or 3 people who would be doing this. Okay, so if you are reading 5 words daily, someone is reading next 5 words, and the third person is reading 5 words, so in total you are learning 15 words in average for a week. Okay, 15 words per day, and average you would be getting 15 into 7, whatever the average words are. So you would be having good punch about the wordings. Now coming to the sentence making, start with small sentences. Okay, don't start with very fancy words, don't start with very hectic words, don't start with very hectic sentences. Okay, start with very fluent words. Like when you are talking with your friends, at least start with, did you had your lunch or did you had your dinner? Okay, start with these kind of sentences, and then you end up by speaking with the person about their whole day. And the thing always I do is, it is my practice, whenever my day is over, I sit for 15 minutes while before sleeping, not investing the time for the Instagram and all. That this 15 minutes I analyze what I did today. What was my today learning? Okay, learning, it is like we learn every day. Okay, so what did I learn new today, and what is the outcome from that learning, and how I can use this learning for my future. So the 15 minutes of daily analyzing yourself will improve your future.
Yes, ma'am. Uh,
Yeah.
that was pretty helpful, and I hope that our the attendees of this webinar are jotting down the points which you are saying. So, moving on to the next
Yeah.
question, it is by Tanmay Gangurde, and I will just ping it on the screen. Ma'am, I find myself having decent communication skills, but I am poor when it comes to spellings. Okay, I am also. Can
Okay.
you suggest me some way to tackle this problem?
Okay, so let us go with the Indian method. Okay, whatever you speak, okay, whatever words come to your mind, just try to break it. Okay, like you want to write spelling. Okay, so just break it into 2 or 3 halves. It should be spelling. Okay, so you understand, it should having one S, it should be having one P, it should be having one E, and it was ling. Okay, while we pronounce like that. Okay, then you understand that it should be having double L, then ing.
Okay, so I hope Tanmay you are getting this point, right? We try to use the Indian method as ma'am suggested. So there's another question from a guy, and I don't know his name, and I will just bring it on the screen. How can we show the interviewer or tell him that I will be a good asset to the company?
Okay. So this is a good question which comes to me daily. Okay. So you don't have to show anything. You just have to provide them whatever you have. Okay. If you have good knowledge, you just have to let them know that I do have knowledge upon this matter. If it is about some technology, you just elaborate that I have done the technology in this end. Okay, so this was my learnings, this was my proceedings, and how this could be useful to your company. And how you will do is that whenever you are going for interview to any company, say XYZ company, you understand their products, you understand their needs. Okay, likewise you prepare yourself how you can go into the company and make some more outputs, or you can provide some inputs to the company. You just make all the pointers, and likewise you try to convince that yes, you are good in these technologies, or you do have these knowledge, and you do have that potential to prove. Don't worry, it will get that you are a good asset.
Okay, that takes me to another point, ma'am. It's always said that being humble is the best way to communicate with people. Being modest
Of
is the
course.
best way to communicate with people. But in daily life scenario, we always come across these situations where being modest won't help us in the immediate situation, like immediate perspective, with the immediate perspective, right? So, what are your views over this point? Ki, should we always be modest? And is it really that always being modest is the best way to communicate with the person?
Look, it depends to situation and situation. Today we are talking about something very professional life, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to professional life, being humble is the thing which can show your good attitude towards the frontiers, okay? But when it comes to personal life, okay, it is totally dependent upon the situation upon which you are coming across. Like what kind of situation is it and how you need to react upon it. If being modest is the solution, then you should be a bit modest also at times.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So it's basically all dependent on the situations, and
Of
we
course,
had
of
to
course.
mold according to the situation and be in that form. So another question is about English improvement, and it's about vocabulary. I guess all ma'am here already answered it. By reading books, we can increase our vocabulary. But what happens is, even if we read books, like I'm a daily reader, and I try to read book
Okay.
every 2 weeks. I try to complete one book, but it happens so that even if that moment of point, if that moment I remember a word, but afterwards, like after 1 week or so, I won't be able to recall that word, or even I won't be able to recognize that I have read that word somewhere. So what are your opinions about how we can exactly improve our vocabulary?
So, only one word for your question is practice. You shouldn't leave your practice for that, okay? When it comes to your mother tongue, okay, we could be Marathi, we could be Sindhi, we could be whatever we are, okay? So, why we don't have that thing with our mother tongue is because we talk in that language on daily basis. Okay, so we don't forget those words. So once you have a partner, like I already said, like if it could be your friend, it could be your family, it could be your relative, try practicing on daily basis. Okay, if you practice on daily basis, of course you will forget, but everything cannot be noted down. Okay, and once the words goes to your subconscious mind, then automatically it could be recalled after years also. So how the words should go into your subconscious mind is only by practicing. You guys know, right? What is the difference between the subconscious mind and only the conscious mind? Conscious mind remembers the thing for only the temporary time, but subconscious mind take into the consideration that it remembers the things for lifelong. Right. So whenever you find something, so try practicing that so that your subconscious mind captures the thing and you can use it whenever you feel like to.
Yes, ma'am. So that was really helpful, and I remember you talking about leadership skills just at the beginning of the webinar when you said that
Of
to
course.
convey yourself to other people, you are exhibiting leadership skills. So, ma'am, what are your takeaways on leadership skills, and what should we exactly focus on, like on being a leader? What is it to be a leader?
So a leader doesn't pass us order. Okay, a leader always listens to the teammates, to their colleagues, to the surrounding people, and they discuss the things and then they come to the decision. Leaders always take into consideration that whatever negative things could be impacting should be upon themselves rather on the teams. Okay, all the positive outcomes are for the team credits and all the negative impact should be upon the leaders. Leaders should be very polite, they shouldn't be rude, because I have already stated the polite people get more respect than the rude people. Leaders should understand what their people wants from them, what is their problem, understand the problem and address the solution, and don't give the orders upon the problem.
Yeah,
And
that's get.
leadership, yeah, sorry to interrupt you again, leadership is the one of the crucial state of the mind that everyone needs to come across, because when you become a leader everyone loves you, when you become a boss everyone hates you. So be a leader in your personal and professional life.
Yes, ma'am. That's something which we all should focus on, being a leader and not a boss. And there's one point which I would really like to highlight over here. You said about being a good listener in speaking English as well. You said about being a listener while
Yes,
practicing leadership as well. So this puts me to a conclusion that listening is the most crucial skill that is required for soft skills, for leadership, for any aspect of life. First we have to
of course.
listen, and then we have to say whatever we like. We have to evaluate the
Of
situation.
course.
Talking about the
So
leadership, yeah, ma'am, please, so sorry.
yeah. So again, coming to the listening pointer, that if you want to address someone's problem, if you're not listening, how are you supposed to address the problems? So if you want to be a leader or if you want to be successful in life, you have to be a good listener. Once you become good listener, it is directly proportional to become successful person in life.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just trying to practice listening skills.
Okay, you will soon adapt it. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. I just hope that I will get it and learn from you itself. Okay.
yeah.
So the next question is from my side, ma'am. This happens quite a while, that in your team, when you are working with a team, you are appointed as a leader, or people tell you that you are the leader, like you win their hearts. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes you are appointed as a leader, right? So I believe that a person does not need to be appointed as a leader to be a leader. This is my personal opinion, that you just have to care about the teammates you work about, and without
Of course.
becoming the boss, you can become a leader. But there are certain situations when a teammate or some people of your from your team, they are not showing that much of interest. You try to understand their problem, but they are inactive. Basically, they just simply ignore your pointers, right? So in this situation, what should be exactly done, and what will be the correct approach of a leader?
Okay, so I also come across with those kind of teammates. Okay, so what you should do in this situation is, first of all, try having one-on-one communication. Okay, understand their problem. Why are they so denial? There must be something personal or professional, or there's something must be situated with the growth factor. So sit one on one, understand the problem of the frontier. If yet it is not resolved, then majority wins. You have your team with you, of course, right? Then
Yeah.
you just discuss with them and you just execute and ask the person to follow your things.
Okay, and you summed it up in a so good manner that it's a very difficult question to answer, like how to exactly do it, and I'm really impressed by the fact, ma'am. Ma'am, another
Okay.
thing is very important in soft skill, and I heard of it, is the power of saying no, like denying something, and that too politely. So, what are your opinions about this, denying
Okay.
something politely?
So, being a person or handling some projects, there comes a situation when you have to say no to people. Okay, there is nothing like everyone will come across and you are just saying yes. at the end what will happen is sometimes losses are the things you don't need to bear, but you bear because of your that habit. So saying no do have some sort of, structures. You understand like what is the issue coming across the project or across the team, why you are in this position to say no. Make the frontier understand that these are the things which cannot be done practically, and because of that, sorry, we are dropping this idea for this time, but next time we are surely going to think about it. Okay, so this is the smart way of saying no. Okay, so this is the first pointer which I always prefer. I always say people don't worry, this is the okay manner, but I don't think this is the very effective manner. So we'll of course, take it into consideration, but for the next project or for the next client, but not for this time.
Okay, ma'am. So that it was about like first you say no, and then we come up with a valid reason of why we were not able
Of
to
course.
execute that thing, right?
Yeah.
Instead of directly
Yeah.
just saying no, I cannot do that.
No, we shouldn't do that because what happens, every no has some reason or facts, okay, which could be hampering your situation or which could be hampering your project or hampering your team. So, hampering or having losses is never a priority, right? So, you just have to say, we cannot go with this thing because these are the reasons. But yes, this could be taken into consideration for the next situation or the next time when we get something like this, and of course we'll discuss this at that time point.
Yes, ma'am. Another similar question. It's not directly saying no, but disagreeing at something. Like there's a 100. If we rate the concept of 1 to 100, so on that scale we somewhere agree between 60 to 70. Right, on the score scale of 60, we agree with the person, and rest of the 40 we are not agreeing with them, and yet we want to disagree in a manner that doesn't hurt the person with whom you are speaking, right? But we at the same time we want to acknowledge that they are right in some points, like conflict management basically. So
Hmm.
what should be the correct approach for this?
Okay, can you pardon me the question again?
Okay, I'm so sorry, I was not
Yeah.
able to explain it properly.
Mhm.
The thing is, sometimes there's a situation that we agree with the person for one concept, and on the other hand, on the other flip side of that concept, we don't agree with it, right? Just like we agree 50% of what he's saying, and 50% of what he's saying, we are disagreeing with it. So in this situation, we don't want to hurt the person with whom we are speaking, or we don't want to offend that person. So how we can state up our point that your 50% is correct and the 50% we are speaking is not correct, right? So
Okay.
what should we do in this situation?
So it should be like you should speak to the person with some confidence that you are present over there to listen to them. Okay, but while listening, you should have your strong views also. Okay, so you can share your views in such a manner that the frontier get convinced that yes, the first strategy of mine should be implemented with the second of yours.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. There's another question coming up, and I guess you already addressed this question, ma'am, but we'll love if you come over that question again. The question is how to build confidence while communication, ma'am.
Yeah, I believe I have already answered this. Start with, like you guys are in college, okay? I don't know this guy is from college or what. So once you are in college, you can build confidence at the extent till your college life only. How? You can conduct sessions, okay, and be the speaker, okay? Or you can conduct group discussions and be the speaker, or you can anchor any event and be the speaker. Likewise, you can develop the confidence, because if you know your communication skills are 8 on 10, then your confidence should also reach on 8 on 10. So confidence can only be gained while you speak, it won't be gained while you sit in the corner of the room. So you have to speak in the public, you have to speak in the group of friends, then only you will get the confidence.
Okay. So Tejas, here's where Rotaract comes into the picture. Surprise, surprise, a promotional thing. So here at Rotaract Club, we we believe in building the personality of all the Rotaractors, and that's why we come up with such sessions where we are able to interact with speakers and so. So surprise, surprise, just a promotional thing.
Yeah.
uh, so agreeing with your point, ma'am, Purushottam Kumar has just mentioned something that we cannot directly say that someone is incorrect. Rather, we have to put our views. Exactly what ma'am
Yes.
guided us.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, another thing which we are not currently facing, but hopefully in the future, there will be such situation we have to convince our boss for something, like for a
Okay.
salary raise or for maybe for giving us a vacation of 2 or 3 days. So, what will be the
Okay.
approach in this situation where we need something from our frontier or something from our boss in the hierarchy?
So nowadays, boss are not hurry service. Okay, bosses are now more chiller than what they used to be. Okay, so if you are very much sincere with your work, with your deadline, with your projects, so I don't think there would be any issue when it comes to your salary increment. Of course, all the things from the day one, including your behavior. Okay, so when it comes to salary raise, one thing comes into consideration is the 50% consideration goes for the behavior. You work less, the company won't have any issue, but your behavior should be good, and that is where your confidence, politeness, and the communication comes into the picture. Once your behavior is good with the environment, with the bosses, with your teammates, of course you will get the desired salary package as an increment. And for vacations, yes, I believe you be honest with your bosses and they will of course approve your leaves.
Yes, as you said, honesty is the most important thing which we
Of
must
course.
showcase. Right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, questions are not stopping to come at, and we are running short on time as well. So,
Mhm.
here's the last question, not a question, but a request that could you please tell us, like, just sum it up, like, what should a college student do right now so that, like, what are your advice for a college student to be,
I'll
successful in his.
suggest, yeah, I understood your question. So I'll suggest go for internships, because during this time you have got very quality time to spend upon your future aspects. Because when we used to be in college, we used to attend college since morning 7 to evening 5:30. Then we used to have some technical classes and all, and our day used to just run off. Okay, but you guys have great time in your hand. Try for internships, try to learn new skills, try to do some projects on your own, try to implement your imagination and creativity into something, and provide each and everything with some solid background, or you just promote it over your LinkedIn account. Okay, you must have your LinkedIn accounts. So every day you should utilize it in the positive manner. You should learn every day, because now you guys are in the stage of learning. Okay, so you have much to learn. It is my personal thing that learning doesn't end. Learn in order to gather knowledge. Don't learn in order to gather certificates. Don't learn in order to gather the scoreboards. Don't learn in gather to show off. Okay, learn in order to gather knowledge. Once you gather good amount of knowledge, you would be much appreciated in the outside world.
Yes, ma'am. That was really helpful. Like, if I'm to sum up the takeaways of today's session, ma'am, with your due respect and permission, can I just take 5 minutes to sum up what we had witnessed till now?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. So the first and the most important thing is reading. Like, reading has this word has come up a lot of times during this entire session. That read books, and it's good to have a partner with whom which you can share your stuff. Like, it can be your friend, your family member, whatever it is, and be honest. That's the ultimate conclusion that which we can get. Be honest and modest with your work, and try to improve. Everyday learning is not a one day process, it's a lifelong process, and we can learn till the very last day of our life. So with that being said, I really want to thank Anurupa ma'am for getting time from her hectic schedule and having such an informative session for all of us. And I'm pretty sure that the questions which everyone had asked, like personally I had asked many questions, they are answered. And I would like to thank our retractor Sharmishta Mitra for letting us get in touch with you and finally arranging a webinar with you. She is a very hardworking student, and she's been fulfilling her duty as a woman's representative at well. Thank to Rotractor Tanmay Gangode as well for managing the complete backend of this webinar. Like, it's not easy to handle the technical stuff going on in the backend. And then finally, to each and every participant. Without participants and without Rotractors, actually Rotaract Club is nothing, right? So thank you all for joining us, and thank you, ma'am. We are really grateful to have you as a speaker. Ma'am, anything which you like
So,
to add?
yeah. So thank you guys for this wonderful interactive session. The Rotaract Club of DY College is doing great work. So I believe each and everyone could get so much of success in your life in the future. So you guys, if you have any questions, you can also connect me personally over the LinkedIn. So Aman, I would request you to share my profile with the students, with the all the participants who are already present over here. So if you come across any issues or any questions, you can directly message me and you can connect me over there. And I would be there for your support to answer the questions or the queries in the future also. Thank you for such a great pleasant time and the sessions you have conducted.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. I should definitely share the details on our WhatsApp group, and I will put it in the description as well. So anyone has to
Yeah.
connect, they can directly connect with you. Thank you all. Have a nice day and stay home, stay safe. Right, that's what I can say. Okay. So that being said, goodbye, everyone. Bye, ma'am.